Well, hi everybody. She back. Crazy lady. Anyway, I told you if you sent me some questions that I'd get back with you quicker. And I got a lot of questions. In fact, I only got about half of them written down. But I got enough. Let me put my glasses on so I can see them. Uh, to keep me busy for a while. One thing I wanted to ask, and I know better. Oh, if anybody wants a reading, I've got openings coming up. LynnTarotReadings@gmail.com. Put your phone number in there and I'll get back with you and we'll make an appointment. LynnTarotReadings@gmail.com. And that's readings with an S. Lynn Tarot Readings and phone number and I'll get back with you. And please hit the like button because I just found out on the YouTube channels I watch and stuff that they quit coming up if I don't hit it every time. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And I hope I don't mess your names up too much when I start naming off who asked these questions or your whatever it is. It's probably not even some of your names, whatever you use on whatever it is you're using on this. When you write in comments. So the first thing I was going to ask or talk about is this David Pecker. I'm not laughing at the name. I'm just laughing at the whole circumstance. And I'm sure you're all smart enough that none of you guys are surprised, I'm sure. Like I said, it wouldn't take a psychic or a rocket scientist to figure out what was going on way back when Donald Trump was running for president the first time. If you ever went to a big box store where they had the National Enquirer on the shelf, every picture on there was some horrible picture of Hillary. Either she was dying or tripping or had brain disease or they had reopened up that old Whitewater or something was everything on there. On the front page was just horror stories about her, and you knew all of them was, if you had any reasoning power, you knew they were all bull BS. And so there's no surprises here for anybody with a brain to reason, or that was you guys knew this 5 or 6 years ago. But I think it's amazing that it's finally coming out, and so I give him credit for that. So I got a lot of questions. Another one that I was just going to more talk about it and there's no reason to read cards on it, which, by the way, I should get my cards out of here. Out to read. I can find them. I've been doing so much cleaning, I don't even recognize my own house. It almost makes me feel 10 years younger. Man, I should have done this. Well, I wasn't feeling good enough to do it a year ago. Anyway, getting everything back to where I feel comfortable with it. It's amazing. But somebody was they asked this question. It's a Zephyr. Zephyr. Zephyr, I guess, is how you'd pronounce it. And it says, what do probably the cards think or whatever, compared between the Joseph McCarthy era and what we've done now? And it says, all the news, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Was like comparing the McCarthy era to this era and wanted to know if it would all go away that quick. Well, it would be nice. The one thing that was different, I can still remember, I was a little girl or whatever, a young lady maybe. Can't remember exactly how old I was. I was old enough I can still remember it vividly, so I must have been 12 or between 11 and 13 or so, when all that crap was going on. And I could remember my mom just going on and on and on about how stupid he was, and she couldn't believe that anybody was gullible enough to believe his shit, and that nobody was standing up to him. And nobody did stand up to him. He just stood up in Congress and spewed out his hate almost daily for a year and a half. I mean, people had to leave the country. People lost their jobs. All the writers in Hollywood that was Jewish, they almost all ended up getting thrown out of their jobs. I mean, it was just totally ridiculous because of one man's revenge. And he knew better. He just wanted attention. This is before we had the scarecrows that we got in Congress now that are just in there for attention and have no intention of ever helping the people. But that's how he was. He was just after that notoriety and attention and division. But anyway, it's asking, what the comparison is, and will our lives go back to normal, like the people, when the people woke up from them, how quick it went back to normal. Well, it won't go back to normal this time, whatever normal is. But it won't just adjust itself as quick as that did, because we're into this 4 years and nobody gets their news from the same place. At that time, everybody got their news from the same place. So, and they were teaching math and everything else in school was taught with the reasoning questions. I know when I was a kid, I can still remember why don't they just ask what 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 is? Because they want you to reason stuff out. And there was a lot of schooling at that time and a lot of learning going on in schools. So for the last 25 years, nobody's taught to use their head to reason. They just list the first ideal that comes to them, they take it and run with it. And so, and they're all getting their news from a different place. So no, we're not going to just snap out of this, even though once Trump's gone, we're going to snap away from him really quick because everybody's sick of him. It's not just the people that watch this channel, everybody's sick of his bullshit. So that's going to die down right away after he loses this election. But the people that got us there, and like I said, our enemies are the corporations. That's what's behind this. But anyway, so I wanted to grab my pendulum because a lot of these questions would be better or easier answered with a pendulum than with the cards, and a lot of them, when I read them off, I'll get answers. But no, everything's not going to jump back in place after McCarthy. I mean, like it did after McCarthy when Trump's out of there. But everybody's going to be jumping off that ship that's in power or in office and something, because they're not going to want to be attached to it after he loses this election, because they know that probably 90% of the ones that's doing the most screaming are the ones that's going to all be indicted. Oh, one of my first questions was from a Mary Pulowski. Looks like Pulowski. And it says, Palestine project on college campuses. This isn't a Palestine protest. This is a protest against genocide, against what Palestine is doing in Gaza at this time. And a lot of people in Palestine are not for this either. From what I understand it, they're demonstrating in the streets in a lot of places in Jerusalem right now. And to turn these people, the media, turn these people into And the presidents of all the colleges that are having the police come and all this shit, when these people aren't causing any problem, they're being peaceful and they're being quiet. They're just demonstrating, which is our God-given right here in the United States. At least it was. They're trying to change that in a lot of states. The laws they're passing against people being able to stand up for their rights. It's the young people know what's going on. The young people, especially the kids that are in college, are taught how to reason. They also, most of them are still, they're not sick in the head like these people in Congress and stuff that don't care about anybody or anything but themselves. And they just they're against genocide, and they're really against the American people paying for it. So this isn't being against Jewish people or being against Israel, or this is just wanting them to be civil and humanitarian when it comes to taking care of these people that right now Netanyahu and all his people are out murdering. And yes, it is murder, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, and if you don't agree with me, you don't have to write me nasty letters or say you're never going to watch me. Just don't agree with me. Like I always say, if we agree on everything, there's something wrong with both of us. You know, that's why I like to watch a lot of different news medias that a lot of people gripe about, because they watch somebody say something once or something twice that they didn't like. No, they don't. And they're all up in arms and going. But that isn't the way the world is. Not everybody's going to agree with everything somebody says. You have to go where you agree with the most of what they say, and you still want to hear the other side of it. And if you don't want to hear the other side of it at all, then you're not using you want information from all over is what I'm saying. Anyway, so I don't know what the question is. It says Palestine on college campuses, and then it's a comma. So maybe how much you can't tell time with the cards or the pendulum. I really think I'm being told, or I feel like I'm being told, that this will help. The more demonstrations there are, the more protests there are about this, the more maybe Biden's administration will pay attention. You know, when you listen to a lot of people, they go on like he is paying attention and he's doing something about it. Well, he's not doing too much about it. You know, he's still sending them money. As far as I know, he hadn't held any of it up, or weapons, whatever we're sending them. And it's still, at this point, I mean, it's just women and children left with these other people in there that they say is Hamas or whatever. They're going to say whatever they want to say because they want that property. They want to build hotels and motels. They want that property. They've always wanted that property. So I don't really know what the question was. It was just a question mark. It says college campuses, and I hope they keep this up till they stop it. And I hope none of them get hurt or murdered by the police or the National Guard or whoever else is calling this in. I heard on somebody I was watching today that the president was calling them in, but I thought they were talking about the president of the universities. I hope the hell Biden ain't calling these people in. And from what I understood, it wasn't him. It was the president of the universities. And they're afraid because when it first started, there was a couple of whatever, there's another name for them too when they're in charge of a university. It's another name for somebody in control. A couple of them got fired and had to leave their jobs because they stood up for the people in Gaza. The common people, because they accused him of being against the Jews. Just because you're standing up for somebody not to commit genocide doesn't mean that you hate all the people. We're not against the Jewish people. We just want the people in charge of this war to back it down. Quit killing these women and children. Anyway, that's just, I haven't been talking about this because it causes so much hate and discontent, but it was asked and I felt like I had to say my say, whatever. And then there's one from a Velmash Mama, and it says, will Justice Thomas step down soon? I don't think Justice Thomas is even contemplating stepping down. I think he might get out of there when Trump loses, because he might think he needs to get out of there, not just for his wife, but for himself. So will Thomas leave the Supreme Court? We're getting a yes, a big yes on that. Will it be soon? It didn't stop, it actually got stronger. So maybe really soon. I just read on Thomas. I'm almost sure I just read on him. So I don't know, but yeah, it says he's leaving. The cards aren't going to tell me when he's leaving if I look at him, but this is saying yes, he's leaving. And I'm sure it's not just for him, it's for him and his wife. I know he probably feels like if he can stay in there, he can help her, but if she actually gets pulled up and put on trial and something goes to them, I can't imagine them not making him stay out, the rest of them. But since they don't have any ethics anymore, it could happen. Will GOP implode? This is the same person. It looks like Velmashamama or something like that. Will GOP implode after election cycle? Well, they're already imploding. We have to wait for after the election cycle. They're already eating each other alive, and as soon as they all find out Trump's leaving, they'll all jump off that ship so quick, because they know that especially the ones that were in on everything, they know that they're in there. They know that they're in trouble. So yeah, they'll implode. I was using the pendulum, but I mean they're already imploded. Will they implode after this next election cycle? I don't know if you can see that, but that's definitely a yes. So it says, how is Putin's health doing? I think I read on Putin not too long ago, but we can read some cards on Putin. So how is Putin's health doing? And I want to thank everybody that's watching this, because I love doing this, and thank you for sending the questions. Boy, they have really helped. These questions have really, really helped. So, questions. How is Putin's health? They're just asking about the health, so I don't need to draw 10. I'm just going to do a short one here. I think Whimsy calls those the blitz. I'll just do a real short one and see what's going on with Putin's health. This is just about his health. Well, we got the Wheel of Fortune in the past, so it's been pretty strong for a long time, but that is in the past. The present, we got the Queen of Cups, so somebody's nurturing him and trying to take care of him. He's getting good care. The challenge, We got Michael, the spy in the camp. I don't know what you want to call this. It depends on when this card comes. But coming up is the spy in the camp. So he may have danger around him. He may be pretty healthy, but the people around him may just want him out of there, is what I'm thinking from seeing this. So his health may not look that good if you're looking over the overall picture of somebody's ready to set a bomb under, and this is for entertainment only on YouTube. Fun and entertainment. He may be in danger, constant danger, because there's some people that want him out of that role of being in control of everything. And it looks like whatever's going on is going to be taken care of pretty quickly, because here's justice as the outcome. The outcome on this is justice. So this is the future on it. And then the whole world will be sunny once he's gone. Anyway, yeah, so he's been pretty healthy most of his life. We ask about his health. He's getting nurtured, getting fed good on the right diet, on the right food, but he's got danger around him. And then justice is coming. And the only way I can see justice is coming is if he leaves, and he's not leaving on his own accord. So I'll leave that up to you guys to reason out. It looks like he's not going to be in there much longer. We won't say why. I will ask the pendulum if he is in danger by his own people, by his own, what would that be, generals? I don't know if they call them generals or what we'll just ask him, is Putin in danger by the people around him? Okay. Is Putin in danger by the people around him? Yeah. So, pendulum says, yeah, that he's in danger. So that could definitely, is what I felt like those cards meant. And then we have another one by Patrice Penard, P-E-N-R-D, Y-R-D, Penard, Patrice Penard. And they wanted to know, how does Clarence Thomas feel about Cannon and vice versa? So they're asking him, in the same questionnaire, they were wanting to know how Thomas felt about Cannon and how Cannon felt about Thomas. Now, I don't know why they wanted to know how Cannon felt about Thomas, because I don't think that's much of a, I don't think that's that well, for me, it wouldn't be that interesting. But Cannon might be up in front of Thomas, so he'd have to make a decision. I would rather ask how Thomas feels about Cannon. So let's get the cards out and see what Thomas thinks about Cannon. Probably thinks she's my sister, we're in the same camp. That's what I feel like. I mean, what else could he think about her? He's 110% in up Trump's ass, so that would put them both in the same position. But let's see. What does Thomas think about Judge Cannon? I can tell you without even reading a card that he thinks she's very underqualified. I'm getting that right now to shuffling the cards. He feels of all the judges in the world, maybe she can help delay, like they're helping delay at the Supreme Court till after the election or something. But he knows she's the wrong judge to have, work-wise and intellectually. He knows she'd be the last one that should ever be on this running this case, because she's so immature and she doesn't know what the F she's doing. So what does Thomas think about Judge Cannon? So there would be two sides. He could like the idea that she's where she is, because that way she can delay things like he's doing, but also think she's an idiot. So this might be kind of interesting. So let's see what the cards have to say about it. Because you know all those judges, even the female ones that are Democrat, they're all pretty full of themselves. So Judge Cannon has to be the lowest peon on the block. She just now got on the court, and she's already got a position for the biggest trial of the century. Anyway, I start right out with Joe Biden. I don't know what, and he's not in the middle of the Supreme Court, and he's sure not even in touch with Garland. I don't think anybody's in touch with Garland. I think he's in his own little planet. But we got Joe Biden as the signifier. So that would be, I think that would just have to be the Democratic Party. He thinks all Democratic Party's a bunch of pussies. Okay, now I fell through on this. He thinks that it doesn't really make a whole hell lot of a difference because the Democratic Party's so stupid they're not fighting for nothing. There is no way that the Republican Party would have had a Democratic judge still under this kind of case if the roles were reversed here and this was a Democratic president. There is no way. Especially one that tried to hold up when they were trying to even get the evidence. There's no way they would have stood for it. They would have screamed and yelled till that judge was taken off there to start with. So I think he feels from this, before I even draw another card, and this is the signifier, he thinks that the Democrats are pretty fucking stupid that she's still on there. That wouldn't hold if the Republicans were in charge of this. And this is Thomas, so yeah, so we got the right cards. Wow, all two main arcanas here. Now we got the High Priestess. He knows she's holding it down, that she's hiding stuff, that she's keeping everything under wraps. I shuffled the heck out of these cards. Now we got the Hierophant. He would like to have control of this some way. He really thinks that this is going up. This is him, like blocking Biden. Not that he's blocking Biden, but this is like the law where you're trying to follow the law, coming in and leaving her on there as long as they have already. This is all the behind the scenes. I think maybe he's communicating with her behind the scenes. This is silly. I don't know why he would be, but maybe he's worried about his wife going to jail. But anyway, it looks like there's something going on there. He knows more about this, about what's really going on than we do. And then we've got, he would like to have this case in front of him. I don't know why. He likes the idea that he's still on the Supreme Court right now, and he likes the idea that he has some control over this stuff, probably because his wife's in the middle of it. Not in the middle of selling these documents, although before it's all over, she could be. You can't believe the shit that's coming out, but most of the stuff that's coming out hasn't been surprising. Yeah, he thinks there's going to be a big fight over getting her off that case, and that he might even be able to have something to do with it. Because here's a judgment from which side, and then here's the Hierophant over the High Priestess over her. So that's why he's kind of glad that he's still in power, that he's still got enough health to stay in power. He thinks he might have to be, because I'm sure they all know that if this document case goes, and I'd be willing to bet you, I'm not even betting you, I know that Jack Smith has proof that he sold some of those secrets to other countries. Now I'm reading the cards before I pull them out. Look at this. That he's made offers and taken offers for these secrets for other countries. So what does he feel about Eileen Cannon? He knows she has no business on there, that she should be off of that court right away. This is what he knows. But this doesn't mean this is what he wants. He knows the law and he knows what's going on is not right. Not stupid. It's just a whatever. So he's glad he's still on the court for now, but he is ready to leave because he doesn't want the pressure. He knows that once this election is over and Biden's won again, that there's going to be whatever little bit of pressure he's had on him right now will be nothing like what's coming down after this election on the Supreme Court if they don't get their shit together. And it's time for him to go, and he knows that. And I know right now the only thing they're trying to do is confuse everybody and delay, and anything they can do, illusion, delusion. That's what's going on right now when they meet on stuff. And the thing is to do is just move this through as slow as they can move it. This is what I call the slow chariot. We got the fast chariot in the 7th house. He knows it should be a done deal. He knows that she shouldn't be in charge of that case at all. But he's going to help her slow walk it. So I think they might be in touch, and he might be helping her slow walk it. I didn't really think she was getting any pointers from him. I figured she was getting it from I just started to say it, now it's gone in my head. From the Federalist Society. A lot of judges, a lot of lawyers, a lot of people hooked up in that she's probably getting instructions from how to delay this. But he's glad that she's slow walking it. So that's how he feels. He's glad she's slow walking it, and he knows it's ridiculous, and he knows if the Republicans were in charge right now and it was the Democrats, and the tables were turned, that they would have already had whoever the judge was off of there if they had that prejudice of judge. And I cannot believe it. How many main arcanas are in here? So yeah, he approves personally, probably disapproves through what he knows about the law and what should be done and what shouldn't be done. But he's all in on it if push comes to shove. And here's push coming to shove. I should have took those all up and went back through them before I put them away because that told a pretty good story. Yeah. So he doesn't respect her, but he likes the idea that somebody that dumb's on there, that it's willing to be that stupid and maybe end up getting disbarred before it's over for him. Because the longer that they put off doing anything to Trump, the longer they put off doing anything to all of them, and they know that. And his wife's in that up to her. Whatever. So I should be marking these off here so I know what I've read and what I haven't. This chair is squeaking again. I thought I had it fixed. It's not as loud as it was. It's just a little squeak. It's not loud, but it's still doing it. I haven't looked at it to see if that grommets fell off of it. I don't think it has. So the next one is Christina Simmons. And she wants to know how the election feels in 2025. Well, there's not an election in 2025. I mentioned what the question then is, how are things going in 2025? I think it's still going to be up and down. There's going to be a lot of people complaining and raising hell, but I don't think it's going to be near as many as they're afraid, even though they're already trying to say that this election's going to get stolen by Biden again. So they've got something to complain about when he wins. I think as soon as Biden wins and they realize that Trump's going to jail, and that's what will happen to Trump, maybe not from this trial, but from some of them. As soon as Biden wins this election, they know for sure that Trump's going to jail. I don't think there's going to be I think they're all going to kind of crawl back under the rug, a lot of these people. People in power that's been doing all the screaming, they're just going to get quiet and try not to get indicted. But his little followers that don't listen to real news and aren't interested in using their reasoning powers, the mega morons, they're going to just kind of go back under the rug, stay in their own houses where they can insult different nationalities and be the racists they want to be and stuff. I don't think they're going to be able to do it out in public as much. Which reminds me, if I was going to ask a question, I'd ask if they're going to clean up all these police departments all over the United States. Until they clean them up and quit having open season on black people, I don't know, it just really tears me up to watch the things they do to them. I was watching Rashad Ritchie today, and they had the video of a black guy they stopped, was driving a truck, because I guess everything's electronic now, talk about AI. And on the front of the patrol car, it said it was a stolen car he was driving, or the tags were messed up, something. So they stopped this guy, but the car didn't fit the description of the stolen vehicle, or the vehicle they were looking for, but they didn't even check it out. They just stopped him, and he was black, so they pulled him out of there and put him over on the grass, sicked a dog on him. The dog bit him. And about that time, they finally got him cuffed and stuff, and he was asking for some medical service, and they were calling him a wuss, and then they found out that that wasn't even the right guy, and it was a different car they were looking for. So did they apologize and let him go? No, they arrested him and took him to jail for resisting arrest. Well, he shouldn't even have been arrested. This stuff goes on every day, and it's not hearsay. You're watching it. They got the video on it all, and it goes on every day all over the United States. So all this stuff we've been hearing for all these years, it's happening, and it's been happening, and it's never really quit happening. It's nothing new. But we thought they weren't doing that or getting away with it anymore, and come to find out that's how they get their jollies. 90% of them. They need to. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe go in and fire all the policemen and start rehiring them. Something needs to be done. I'm not saying they're all like that, but it's such a accepted thing, the ones that aren't even in on it, to stand there and watch these people do it and not even stop them, even when they know they're doing horrible things to these people. So, but sometimes I think I won't watch it anymore, but people need to know what's going on, because if we don't know what's going on, then we just walk around with our head in the air and not even realize what's happening. I can't solve any problems, but I can form opinions when you're watching something right in front of your eyes. So we got how does the election feel in 2025? Yakking. There I go, off yakking. How do things feel out in 2025? This would be after the election. So what's going on in 2025 after the election? God, excuse me. You know how I am. I'll get where I'm not going to talk, and then I go off. But if you don't like it, I don't want to hear about it, because I'm, just doing my thing. Okay, let's see. How does it feel in 2025? What's the atmosphere feel like? Well, a Wheel of Fortune. So we're turning over a new leaf. So I felt good when I flipped this up. It's kind of like things as they are now is coming to an end, and we're starting anew. That's a good feeling. There's going to be a portion of the people that won't like it, but look at that. A small portion. Only a small portion. Most people are going to be really happy with the outcome. So that means it's a good outcome. Look at this. Yep. We got the sun. This is people reaching out to us from overseas. So I think there's just going to be even more information coming out that we never heard of. So I think I'm being told it's going to be like unlocking a box, just a box of information from all over, from places that we never even dreamed how far and how deep all these different conspiracies were to take over our government. And I'm not into conspiracy theories, but it was like everything. I don't know if you go back and read the book Justice is Coming, from all the different things that was been being changed for the last 25 or 30 years, from Reagan's time on, it was just, anyway, we're going to find out a lot of things. Things that were pretty obvious but were hidden, and it's going to come through from overseas. It's going to take a while, but we're going to balance things. And these things are even going to be with commerce or something, so it might be with corporations. Maybe eventually after the election and stuff, some of their running wild stuff might get shut down because they're supposed to have to start paying taxes. I think it's 13%. And if they start paying 13% taxes, that'll be a lot of money to help some of these programs. And boy, do we need some programs, especially for child care. So mothers and fathers, both people got to work, and where people can afford housing. Now they're starting to put people in jail for sleeping on the streets, like they're sleeping on the streets because they want to or because they choose to. I know I lived in a small community. El Centro was a small town that I lived in before I moved up here. And there was people out in the street that I had known even younger in my life or through the bar that had just ate too many magic mushrooms, and they kind of liked living on the street. Of course, it's nice and warm there, so they didn't have to worry about freezing to death. It's pretty damn hot in the summertime, though. But that's just a small percentage, not even 1%. The other people sometimes that are on the street are just one paycheck or one job away from being on the street. With everything as high as it is right now, there could be all kinds of things set up to get them back into society and back with a roof over their head. But anyway, here's right after the election in 25, we're going to see things get accomplished and done a little quicker than we've ever seen done. Or maybe not ever seen, but it's been so many years. So I really feel like we're going to get a good, not a huge majority, but a good enough majority in the House and Senate to get some stuff done, because here's the chariot coming through. So there's going to be some things changed really quick. It looks like they might look back at the money and start spending it in different places. Really maybe using it more wisely. I know this sounds silly. As long as the corporations are giving all these politicians money, this is hard to believe, but maybe it will happen. If they can get people voting together for the people, it could make the corporations back off a little bit, because instead of just wanting this 13% stop that's supposed to go into effect, they might end up adding more on it. So maybe it's going to get some attention for where the money's spent and how it's spent. The people are going to be happy. after this in 25. Because it's gotten rid of a lot of the people that needed to get out of there are getting out of there. They're either getting put in jail, or they're walking away, or they're just crawling back under the rug, even if they're still in Congress. And then we've got the hermit here. Maybe people are going to slow down and really study and set up, I would say, better governing. Let me draw on this and see if that's what that's about, because I want to see what that hermit's about. Yeah. Then okay. There's going to be more research done on Russia's involvement, probably in the election that Trump won. I'm thinking, because we got Russia right under investigation and things going on with Russia. You know, maybe the Mueller report would be looked at from the right view and really be gone into, because it was all there. They just didn't tell the people because Barr went over it. But here's families getting along better. So that would be nice. That would be wonderful. So they wanted to know what things were like after we're doing after the elections. Families will be getting along better. There'll be things being turned up about other countries meddling in our affairs and having a lot to do with trying to start this civil war. People will be walking away and running away from the Congress and from any notoriety, because they're going to be afraid that if they stay there too long, they're going to get caught up in these webs that are going to go through and put a lot of people in jail that belong there. A lot of stuff about overseas being involved. Things are going to get balanced out, and more money is going to be used in the right places. And it's going to happen quicker. It's not going to take forever and ever and ever to push legislation through, because there's going to be enough people to work together, a few for the people, that it's going to be surprising. Which will be surprising as long as the corporates have their clutches on everybody in power. But maybe, let's just hope that it looks like it's a new energy coming through. Maybe they're going to lose some of this corporate power. Maybe we'll get Citizens United back in there. This is taking a deep look at all the money we take in and where it should be spent on families and not on bullshit. And then everybody's going to feel like it's sunshiny in America. We're not going to get everything we want. It's not going to be as like a takeover, but we're still going to have a good enough majority where we control stuff. And it's the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So I would say things are going to be a lot better in 25. And they're going to smooth out quicker from these cards than I thought they would. And I'm not saying there's going to be nobody upset or nobody causing their own little... There'll be a few sections where there's going to be... I'm hearing raids. It won't even be big protests or anything. It'll just be people... That's the bloodthirsty people, that's all they've been talking about, is who they can go kill and all this kind of crap. Maybe some of them will still be trying to start a war or trying to start problems, but it's nothing that can't be nipped in the bud. So that's how I feel what's going to go on in 2025. God, I can't believe I am a windy person. I just looked up there at the timing on this. I can't believe that much time's gone by, but I'm not through yet. I'm going to keep going here until I get through another page of these questions. I'll just see if I can speed it up a little bit. Or maybe I should stop this and start another one. I didn't realize that much time had gone by. It really goes when you get... I put off doing these readings, and then once I start, I don't know when to quit. So what's on the next page? We got a Carol. This Carol, and it says 7363. At what point will Trump's life be in danger from Russia when he's no longer useful? I don't think Russia's that worried about Trump. I think they think he's a convenient idiot. Or, I don't know. I could have thought of something better than that. Should have thought that something that rhymed. But anyway, yeah, he's useful idiot, whatever. At the right time in the right place to pick up their propaganda and push it. But I don't think they have to tell on him for selling them secrets. I think Jack already knows it. I think our government already knows it. They know about what's missing and they know who it was sold to. So I think maybe in the process of being sold now too, who knows? So I don't think they'll know he's no longer, I don't think he'll be in danger. I'll ask. Let's ask with the pendulum. That way we can just do it really quick. Will Putin be in trouble when he's no longer useful to Russia? Will he be in danger? Will he be in danger when he's no longer any problem to Russia? Well, what would he? I wonder what he did that would put him in danger. He don't know any secrets about Russia, so why would he be in danger? Putin's not worried about us finding out anything he talked to Trump about because he could give a shit less, I think. But it says he will be in danger. Look at that. I could read the cards and see if I start getting a feed through. I can't imagine what he would be in danger for, and I can't imagine the cards explaining it. But maybe I'll just pull 4 across the top to see if he would be in danger from Putin. So I'll just ask if Trump's in danger from Putin. You know what? That's a waste of time because, yes, Trump's in danger. It says yes. Pendulum says yes. We'll find out why later because I'm not going to find out why looking in these cards, not right now. Things change. That's a ways off before he doesn't have, where he's not going to be able to help them at all. And then somebody just said, please. And they said, Julian Assange. Oh, I never thought Julian Assange was a hero, but I never thought he was that horrible either, what he did. Of course, I like that other guy that supposedly did secrets. Trump could take all these top secrets and sell them to other countries, but these other guys can't even warn the American people that we're being spied on. But we all knew that anyway. So I don't want to get into people that's got in trouble for releasing information. But from what I understand, what Julian Assange did was not really, I don't know. Anyway, what do they want to know? They're talking about him now. They wanted to know, I hope he doesn't get released to the United States. Maybe that's what they want to know. Well, they're wanting to, his country or some countries wanting to pardon him. So we'll just pull some cards on Julian Assange and see what his outlook looks like in the next, whatever year. So Julian Assange, what's going on with you? It's amazing he would have any health at all after being stuck in that embassy for 11 or 12 years. That'd make an old person out of you. That's like having COVID for 12 years. So he's kind of already been in his jail to keep him out of jail. Whatever. So we got I think America's, I'm not going to draw anymore. I think America, look at this, here's the winner's card. I think America's going to agree not to prosecute him. I think they're going to drop their stuff and he's going to go back to, where's he from, Australia? Where the hell is he from? It seems like it's Australia. But anyway, I think he's going to be out of trouble. Might never be an information broker again, but I think he's going to be out of trouble from that card. And the next one is Bannon. Will he be held responsible for anything? Well, he should be. Keep hearing he's going to be held responsible. I know one judge, just one crooked judge, let him loose after being convicted of that one thing, but that's a minor thing. He's got other convictions that are huge. What's holding him up? Our court systems aren't that overtaxed with Trump's shit. They could still persecute him for excuse me, God, wrong word. They could still prosecute him for all the things he's done. Look at him sell that We Build the Wall deal and all that stuff. I don't even think he's gone to court on that. And just because he got lucky enough to get a judge that let him stay out of jail while he appealed, not going in for that subpoena, there's several other things that he could be back in front of the courts for, and I can't figure out why he's not. But this will all be coming out. So Bannon, is Bannon going to end up meeting his Waterloo? And we don't have to draw 10 cards on that either. Let's just do a short one here. Steve Bannon. Something's coming out about him working with Russia. And now he is going to jail for it. They're thinking about right now, wondering what he's going to do, what they're going to do with him, how they're going to prosecute him, what they're going to charge, all the different things they're going to charge him with. They've got the goods on him. Our government has the goods on him. I don't know what the... Well, this is the outcome, future, whatever you want to call it on him, is his world as he knows it is totally going to change. So we've got more stuff coming out on him about helping Russia, a jail cell waiting for him. Smith or whoever calls him, whoever sets this up to start with, I don't know who's in charge of, going to be in charge for, they got him out in the ocean. That was when they picked him up, but it was for that We Build a Wall stuff. So I don't know who's going to be prosecuting him, but here's the prosecutor winning. And here's his life cycle's over as he knows it. For all his treachery. And once he goes to trial, he'll go down quick. And we'll find out more crap that they were up to. Like I said, we're going to keep, and here he is in jail making license plates. Yeah, he's going to end up in jail, but I don't know when. I can't tell you when. Should be already caught up in this. They'll probably let it go. Let's ask if they're going to let this go till after the election. We all know he should be right in the middle of stuff right now and back in court again, but he's not. But meanwhile, he's spewing all this hate and discontent, misinformation. He needs to be in jail. That's all there is to it. He's one of the ones that needs to be in jail the most. So will he go to jail before the end of the year? Will he go to jail before the end of the year? No. Kinda, maybe. He might be in the process. Will Steve Bannon go to jail in 2024? No. Will Steve Bannon go to jail in 2025? It's moving. It's trying to get out of that rut, but not too much. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know from the pendulum. From the cards, it looks like yes. It looks like more information about him in Russia. Here's the jail card. Here's Jack Smith, the winner card. Here's his whole life changing for all the treachery. Once they get started on him, they're going to move fast. because all the evidence coming out, and they're going to put him in jail. There he is making license plates. So I'm going to stop there. I don't know when it's going to happen. God, I'd like to see him off the... Will Steve Bannon go to jail this year in 2024? Will Steve Bannon go to jail in 2024? No. Pendulum says no. Okay, this is Julie. We're back. This is Julie, and we're going to read on Julie. Looks like Julie Lilly. And it says, will Jack Smith indict Jenny Thomas? Period. Question mark, period. Question mark. Will Jack Smith indict Jenny Thomas? I'm going to use the pendulum for that. It's better, easier than the card. Will Jack Smith indict Jenny Thomas? Will Jack Smith indict Jenny Thomas? Yes. We written a yes on that. It's not a, it's a yes. It's a definite yes. But it might be slow in coming the way it's, you know, it starts out, it's a week. It's like, I had a feeling it's going to take a while. It's going to take, he will, but it's not going to be one of, just about the time you think he's all through charging everybody and everything, she's going to be one of the last ones, is what I'm being told. So, that's why I got what I'd call a slow yes. And then it says, will Biden expand the court? I'm saying no. I don't think Biden ever expand the court. I think some people have too much faith in Biden, but he's still 800% better than Trump. So I'm not, don't want to hear anything that I'm bad-mouthing Biden, but no, I don't see him. Personally, I don't see him expanding the court, but we'll see what the pendulum says. What I think is neither here nor there. Will Biden expand the court? That's a big no. That's a big no. So, what else we got here? We got more of them? Yeah. We got a stapler. And what's that? Will Aileen Cannon be R-E-P-R-A? I can't read my own writing. Okay, replaced. Okay, that's a P. Will Aileen Cannon be replaced? That's a quick one. We can do that with the pendulum. Oh, I love you guys. If you're still watching me, I really love you. I can't imagine. Oh boy, I love you guys. Will Aileen Cannon be replaced? That's a not yes, but hell yes. Good. So yeah, she will definitely be replaced. And don't ask me when, because I don't know, but it's coming. It's set. The energy's set in motion. She's definitely going to be replaced. And somebody might know if Garland was going to be replaced. I don't think Garland's going to be replaced. I think he may quit at the end of the year or when the administration changes. I can't see him being replaced personally before the end of the year, but we'll see. Will Garland be replaced? No. Well, but this isn't an indecisive no. It's kind of, there it goes. I'm going to say yes, he could be replaced. The thoughts, the energy's in the air, the energy's going toward him. Anything could change that. But will Garland be replaced before the end of this year? I've got a yes. I don't think, I still don't think that Joe Biden would replace him. Don't get me wrong. I just, it's just not the way he governs. Anyway, he may be going before the end of this year because he decides to go and he wants to be replaced. Maybe, it doesn't, I didn't ask if Joe Biden would replace him. It just said he'd be replaced. So that's maybe why the pendulum was kind of hesitating, because I was thinking in my head, would Biden replace him? And usually my guides listen to what's in my head instead of what I say. And I think that's saying he might replace himself. He might just leave the court. Or leave the position and have him resign. A lot of these can be answered with a pendulum, which is good because it's getting late here. Will enemies of the democracy be charged? This is Shannon Burker, Sharon or Shannon Burker, Buker. Will enemies of democracy be charged with treason? I think we'll just ask, will anybody be charged with treason? I think Trump should be charged with treason. I've always thought he should be, but let's just ask if anybody. Okay, guides, come on through and help me with this. Will anybody be charged with treason that's out there in the middle of this mess, and as our government puts itself back together, will anybody be charged with treason? Yeah. Yes. It's still going. I put it down. I was going to put it back on the table and just start swinging in a huge circle. So yeah, we might all get our wish. We might really get to see justice done. Wouldn't that be something? Sharon, I think her name's Sharon Booker or something like that. And then the last question, and I've read on this before and I've talked about it before, but it's one thing that Linda G's always saying, and she's usually always right. It says, will Trump be declared an illegitimate president? All my deep search on politics for the last 50 years tells me no, that they will never do that. It would cause too much commotion in the records, and you know how they are about doing things that's never been done before. But I'm going to ask the pendulum. Will Trump be declared? As far as declared, I think half the people in the world in the United States have already declared him that, but by our government. Will Trump be declared an illegitimate president? There's some deep shit coming out. If he ends up in jail for treason, if he lives long enough to go to jail or in the mental hospital or wherever they put him in the padded cell, if he ends up in there, and it is for treason, maybe he would be declared as an illegitimate president. Maybe it could be done, and they could do it without, and get it done with enough clarity on the up and up to really do it. Should he be? I'm sure, but will he be? The pendulum says yes. And it also says that there is people that's going to go to jail for treason, and that he will be declared an illegitimate president. It would be after I'm long gone, I'm sure. Something's going to happen overnight. But anyway, that was the questions, and I'm glad you guys sent them in, and it made this fun, having other people's stuff to ask. And if you want me to answer more questions, send more questions. I've still got some more. I didn't get through them all, and I didn't write them all down from the last time, but not enough to do another video. So whatever comes up, whatever you see in the news or something, send it on your on your comments, and don't forget to do a thumbs up and get a hold of me if you need a reading. And I love y'all and bless you, and namaste. Bye bye now.